Okay, so pistons connecting rods are out. This side has, you can kind of see there's like almost like a burn mark. Like it looks like it was oil starved, maybe, on it. Try to wipe it just a bit. See if I can get it a little more clear. You can kind of see where it's not there's no scoring, it's just like there's a mark on it. But other than that, like that one looks pretty good. The other one doesn't even show. Well, it shows like there is a little bit dark, or like just some coloration on it. And as you spin the crank, this is really hard to do with holding a cell phone in my hand. There's not really any scoring on it. This also has kind of it's almost like a burn mark where it got oil starved or something right there. Haven't put the mic on it yet. Yeah, check it with a micrometer and see if it's out of spec. But initially, looking at the journals, they look okay. When I look at the rod bearings, you can see they're a little darker, but there isn't any, doesn't appear to be any damage or like copper coloring. It's a little better angle. You can kind of get sort of a picture of what the wear pattern is. And same here, there's some just dark spots on them. I would pull this off, but I can't because the camera's in my hand here. I hate watching these videos, but now I'm making one. Done with a cell phone. Anyways, there's kind of a picture. It looks like there's stuff in it, but there's not. Just like oil. So as I rotate it, you can kind of get a view of. It's just like dark, pretty even wear. There's no big scratches or like scoring in it. They came off pretty good with no trouble. Taxidermy block. But those journals look pretty good. They really don't show any like deep scoring or signs of being trashed, so that's encouraging. I think just for the sake of not wanting to do this again, like in a year or ever, I might just get the bearings ordered. The book has the super complex matrix of like bearing identification in it based on these numbers here on the crank. Numbers and letter combinations, so you have to get the color-coded bearings for the mains. So I may just order those now just to get them coming. But it still doesn't explain the knocking sound that I was hearing. I need to pull this balancer off and check the other balancer for the cush drives. Some gasket material on that one. Right there, you see it. But I need to do that so that if it's the cush drives that are bad, or the little cush balancers in there that keep it from knocking, that are bad, that are making the noises, I can replace them. You know, if I'm lucky, or if my assumptions are correct, the issues that we're having with noise were because of the crankshaft, some gasket material, or because of the camshaft, I mean, being so damaged or so worn, and having the lifters be destroyed. So it could be that the knocking sound I heard was the camshaft hitting the rocker arms, just like smacking into it every time it came around, which would make sense because of the way that the noise worked. Like, the noise was at idle the loudest, and as the RPMs went up, it became more rapid. So it was exactly in sync with RPMs, which would make sense for the balancer as well. But after I tensioned that chain, the noise got worse. So for now, all of the journals seem to be serviceable with some new bearings. At least I think. That burn mark is weird. You know, the main bearings look pretty good. Rod bearings look pretty good, or the rod journals look pretty good. So now I'll pull these balancers out and check the cush drives and see what's going on there, and order new bearings, I guess. See what's going on. There's some very specific directions for how these balancers have to go back in the engine, like based on their orientation relative to the deck. Saw a video a guy made about that earlier that was a little confusing, and I'm gonna make a little bit more clear video of it. But you can kind of see, well, I don't know if you can or not here. There's a line with the TH on the balancer. There's a line with a TC, and the rear and front, both relative to the deck of the case, need to have those lines lined up. I think the front is the TC that needs to be lined, and the rear is the TH. But like I say, the manual will tell you that. So I'll make a video about how that works. I'm gonna need a new seal for the crank. This one was serviceable, but I don't think that it's advisable to reuse those once you take them out. I assume I'll need a new seal for the transmission out shaft as well. I assume, even though it wasn't leaking. So that will have to be done. And these bearings seem to be in good condition. Manual talks about how to check that, so I'll check those. But overall, I never had any issues with the tranny yet. I didn't put my hands in it yet, so that may be the problem I find. Once I touch it, it breaks down. But so far, the lower end looks good. I'm hoping maybe the sound I was hearing was the top end and the wear in the valve train. So worst case scenario, put it all back together, it still makes the noise, and I have no idea what's going on. So we'll see what happens.